Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Please. Feel comfortable.
Ji, sir.
The lead, you can introduce yourself to all of us.
Okay, sir. Sir, my name is Bilour Khan. I belong to district SWAT, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. I did my early education from SWAT and then I went to Peshawar in order to do my FSC from Islamic College, Peshawar. And based on my excellent performance in the board examination, I was enrolled at Ghulam Isa Khan Institute of Engineering Sciences and Technology on fully funded scholarship from the government of KP. And I did my bachelor's in engineering sciences. And after completing my bachelor's, I was selected as electronic engineer in the same faculty, where I served for almost 3 years. After serving, then I was offered a full funded scholarship in Finland at Lappeenranta University. I went to Finland. I completed my master's studies. And based on my excellent grades, I was selected on a European funded scholarship. And currently I'm pursuing my PhD in the field of biomedical spectroscopy, which is mostly focuses on biomedical engineering. I would like to tell about my strength a little bit. Grit, resolve and perseverance was something on which I drive in, and this was the reason that along with my higher studies, I continued to prepare for CSS exam while I was also doing my coursework. And luckily, I didn't compromise my PhD, and even in 1.5 years, I've completed my coursework of PhD as well. And even I've published one scientific article in Optical Society of America as well. So my PhD is on track, and I was preparing for PhD in Finland. Then I came here in February, took the exam, and currently I cleared the written exam and I'm preparing for my interview.
Thank you. You are going to be a scholar. Why you are shifting to this side? What has prompted you?
Yeah.
What is the motivation?
Sir, I think the knowledge which I have gained till now, I think it will goes on throughout this service. Civil services has, to be honest, I think it is a more social recognition in a sense that you can deliver at a larger extent. If I was a PhD scholar, which I truly believe that our country needs bright scholars, which I truly endorse, sir. But I think the knowledge which I've gained abroad, I can truly manifest it here in civil services as well, because civil services offers a very strong horizontal mobility. You can be like part of the operational field on the field, and you can be part of a strategic thinking as well once you progress along with your service. So I think the knowledge which I've gained, I can truly contribute in this as well, because it is a broader horizon and it has a versatile and dynamic civil structure.
You keep on following the Pakistan news?
Yes, sir.
The foreign minister, the finance minister was in Washington having a dialogue with IMF.
Yes, sir.
What is the outcome?
Sir, this seems still deadlock because the structural adjustment program, which was a 39-month program, which was signed in 2019, and the current deadlock is primarily because of two reasons. The first is, sir, they're asking for the subsidies which mostly the government has been giving to the power sector. They want that the subsidies should be diminished. And another thing is the tax to GDP ratio, because when we signed with the with IMF, that our tax to GDP ratio is currently around 10%, and for a developing country, it's not good. And we have promised in that structural adjustment program of 2019 that we will increase this SAP, structural adjustment program. We will increase our tax to GDP ratio to 15. And I think IMF is worried about this, that we want some serious outcome on this, and we are lagging. But I think the finance advisor to the Prime Minister on Finance has recently said today, I saw the news, that soon we will reach on the agreement, and I think the deadlock will be soon addressed.
Prime Minister was to Saudi Arabia, and yesterday I read that Saudi government has placed $3 billion
yes, sir.
in Pakistan account. What is the purpose of this placement of money?
Sir, I think Prime Minister went to Saudi Arabia, and we managed to get two sort of payment. One was $3 billion was for our foreign account in order to address our balance of payment issue, and the next was 1.2 to 1.4 billion was for the deferred payment in oil, because we have one of the highest oil bills. And I think it will help us in order to address those issues. So it has two main domains. One is for foreign account, the dollar account, because our dollar is depreciating. The dollar reserve of Pakistan is depreciating. So they've agreed to provide us $3 billion on that. And along with that, 1.4 to 1.6 billion has been offered as a deferred payment in oil for oil.
Neighbors of Afghanistan, they are meeting in Iran. Yesterday there was a meeting. What was the agenda? Do you know they have met yesterday?
Sorry, sir, I have to check it.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
What is the update about the crisis in the Balochistan government? Because the government has fallen.
Yes.
What is happening?
Yeah, sir. I think the Balochistan Assembly, which comprises of 65 members, they have moved no confidence motion under Article 173 of the Constitution against the sitting Chief Minister, who was the sitting Chief Minister Jam Kamali. And I think, sir, for a democracy, it is not a good. It's a good oven. If you don't have the confidence of your electables, so I think the democracy cannot flourish. So, but what I feel is it's a democratic norm of democracy. If a chief minister, leader of the house, does not have the confidence of the members, so he can be replaced. But well said that I think the larger dynamic of the political it might go toward fragile. So democratic norms should be held at most, and there should be a consensus on national and regional issues of Balochistan.
Thank you.
What is the basic functional unit of the police department?
So the basic functional unit is Thana, like the police station, the local police station, which is being held by from the lower staff. If we start, it's constable, followed by head constable, and then it's sub inspector, followed by inspector, and so on.
It is regarded as the face of the police department.
Yes,
the
sir.
Police station.
Yes, sir.
So what's wrong with this face?
Yes, sir. I think that there are primarily two reasons for the tarnished image of police in our society. I think one is that there is a very lack of community policing in Pakistan. To be honest, I've been abroad in Finland, and I've seen they're mostly implementing the community policing a lot. Like, for example, by community policing, I mean they've made the community as part of the police. They do policing using the same community. And what Pakistan is doing, like in our police station, the moment you enter police station, you don't feel safe. So there is a lack of education. I would say there is not technologic savvy. Our policing is not e-tech. We can move toward e-policing, and there is a lot of people-to-people contact. So the moment we stop that people-to-people contact, if we make it e-tech, like for example, I would say, so for example, we have started FIR, online FIR, but still the people have not aware of that technology because due to lack of education.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
You are posted as a DPO in a district. So FIR is a big problem. Getting registration FIR is a big hassle. So what will you do to ensure that the FIR registration becomes easier and easy for the people?
Yeah, I think the most prevalent, the most important thing would be to, for example, I would have SDPOs, sub-divisional police officers, and under those SDPOs, I will have station house officers. So the primarily focus would be to see the nitty-gritty of the FIR. Has it been given based on the realities, the ground realities? So it's very important that there is no political interference. There is no biasness based on the station house officer. There is no biasness based on the lower hierarchy of the police. So the most important aspect for me will be to ensure that the staff which works under me, they visit the crime scene or even the ground reality to analyze the situation. And what has been written in the FIR. Like for example, this is very important to check the ground realities.
But if you check the ground reality and you look into all those factors, it will take months for registration of the FIR. FIR has to be registered there and then you start the investigations. And if the allegations are not true, cancel the FIR and take action against the complainant. As simple as possible. Yeah. And sir, it will take a long time.
Agreed, sir.
The method or the procedure which you are, it has to be there and then. You have to ensure that it is registered almost immediately.
And yes, sir. And so this is the reason. Yeah, and so this is the reason primarily.
So that is the basic purpose of the police department, particularly the DPO. He has to ensure that people, their grievances, they are made, they are recognized, and they are given due recognition. So what is the difference between deportation and extradition?
Sir, extradition, sir, deportation is, for example, if when you're serving in one department and your services are placed at the disposal of another department.
No, not deputation. Extradition and deportation. Deport.
Okay. Sir, I have to check it. Sir, I have to check it.
Gender. What is gender equality?
Yeah, so gender equality refers to the treatment of individuals or the public irrespective of their gender affiliation. It refers to the economic empowerment, it refers to the educational attainment, it refers to the social justice and all those phenomena of the society and which you treat every individual under, like for example in Pakistan we have the article 25A in which all the individual will be treated as equality, like the rule of equality in front of the constitution. So it's the equal treatment of individual irrespective of their gender affiliation.
No, not equal treatment. It is you see how freely the opportunities, the available, you see, access to opportunities, access to the resources which are available, which the people can use for their benefit. That is, there should be the equality. There should be no gender bias in that. And what is gender parity?
Gender parity, sir, the participation of various genders based on equity. Like for example, if there are like 100 seats for a post, like if we have 100 vacancies, so those seats should be divided based on, there should be a gender parity. There will be some sort of a mechanism for that.
Right. How do you view the process of accountability in the country ongoing?
Sir, accountability is a panacea for a truly democratic state. First of all, I would say that being a democratic state, accountability lies at the front echelon of our country. And the current mechanism which we have, like for example, the NAB ordinances, as the current government is primarily focusing on ordinances under Article 89 of the Constitution. So I think primarily for strategic thinking, I think the ordinances regarding the accountability, it should be mitigated, it should be minimized, but there should be a strategic mechanism for accountability. And this accountability mechanism should be not based on a single entity. Like for example, it should be extended irrespective of institution. It should be extended to military, it should be extended to political fraternity we have, it should be extended to all the departments.
I'm talking of the current process, the current ongoing drive of accountability which is going on.
Yes. Sir, I agree with the current accountability which is going on. Like for example, there are a lot of political cases have been made against the political leadership by the current government under NAB ordinances, and thereafter the recovery of the political parties. Yeah.
And who is Greta Thunberg, and why is she in the news? Greta Thunberg.
Sorry, sir.
Thunberg, huh?
Sorry, sir. I have to check it again.
You play cricket?
Yes, I play cricket.
What do you do? What is your specialty?
Sir, I do batting and bowling as well, sir. I'm an all-rounder.
You are an all-rounder. What is he known as in what terms? In terms of our captain, what did Imran Khan say about an all-rounder? Okay.
Bilour Khan, foreign service is your third option.
Ji, madam.
Why do you want to go into foreign service?
Madam, foreign service give you a true manifestation of representing your country at the highest possible platform, which is the international stage, and it gives you a sense of dynamism. Like for example, I've been abroad, I've seen our consul generals in Sweden, I've seen them in Paris, I've seen them in Finland, and I've seen their contribution as well. So it is the highest possible platform in which you can represent your country and which you can serve. I think this is the primarily goal of foreign service of Pakistan, that you can represent your country at the highest possible platform.
Great. Do you have any idea of the hierarchy of an embassy? What is the structure of an embassy?
Madam, embassy is primarily led by ambassador, which is the head of the head of that particular embassy. It is led by embassy, and then there are Then there are various departments which treat the greater public abroad. For example, there is military presence as well, and then there are visa section. There are, but I have to check it in detail, madam.
Fair enough. Bilour Khan, you come from SWAT. Tell me about the problems of that area in the context of insurgencies and interferences in the smooth, running of the area and also of Parachinar.
Yeah, madam, SWAT has been subject to militancy in 2007 and 2008, and it's a true fact that whenever there are boots on the ground, we have collateral damage happen, and it exactly happened in SWAT as well. So when collateral damage happen, there are grievances among the public, and those grievances need to be addressed, and the government has done tremendously enough along with the military establishment. The peace has been restored, people have been back to their houses, but now come the economic factor. According to 2017 census, SWAT comprises of 2.3 million population, but mostly we are agrarian-based society. Our source of income is based on peaches and plums, the export of peaches and plum to the other parts of Pakistan. So I think if the transportation mechanism, the hard terrain of SWAT, it's a very big problem. If they're made a bit more channelized along with the main route, for example, they've currently started the SWAT motorway, so it has exactly mitigated most of the issues. This is one aspect, that the economic uplift of the country. The second thing is the cottage industry in SWAT, because most of the family they are working, for example, women, they're mostly working in informal sector of the society, which is undocumented. So I think if the government formulate certain initiative, like for example, tourism is one of the important aspect of SWAT, and there need to be a bit more channelized mechanism in order to like inject the women participation. They can be like they can be like put in the tourism or the tourism sector of the SWAT as well. So primarily, I would say, madam, tourism sector should be uplifted. Then the economic participation of the public should be enhanced through enhanced communication sector. And then the bigger problem is the social issues. For example, the crime rate is not that prevalent if we compare it with the other district. People are mostly peace loving, but still we need a bit more robust mechanism in order to uplift their socio-economic standings.
Do you think the rise of Taliban would have effect on the stability of this area?
The current rise in Afghanistan, madam.
Taliban.
Yeah, madam. Yes, is SWAT and Malakandir. We have adjacent border with Dir. We have direct contact with the Afghanistan. This is a terrain, so it will have impact. But I would say that the recent merger of the ex-FATA with the established KP, I think it will mitigate a lot of the grievances. But as far as SWAT is concerned, I see that the people have realized the importance of peace. We have seen the beauty of peace. We have now like moved on from that militancy, and people are like more focusing toward their education. So I think I don't see that there will be next episode of that militancy in SWAT.
Just the last question. You're such a smart boy doing your PhD. Do you think civil service is really the place for you?
Madam, I've decided this based on my foreign exposure as well. Like when I decided to sit and to take this exam, the primary reason was like Allah has been so kind. I've seen the peak of the pinnacle of my career in Finland. Like I was the first one to enroll in PhD program among the whole class. And when I was deciding to take this exam, I thought that this knowledge I can implement in the civil services as well. There was like a less of opportunity for me, because it would be just serving in an academia. I would just keep serving in that till my life. But if I came to civil service, I think it would have more dynamic service, strong horizontal mobility, and so on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Bilour Khan, tell me how John Locke's political philosophy contributed toward the making of US Constitution.
Sir,
John Locke's, a British philosopher, his political philosophy contributed toward the making of US Constitution. Tell about it.
Sir, I have to check it. I couldn't remember the exact contours of the
Sir,
John.
Montesquieu की philosophy बता दें कि how Lord Montesquieu's political philosophy contributed in the making of US Constitution? Because US history is your subject.
Sir, I have to check this
You
again.
haven't read
Because
the
they-
separation of power. Okay, anyhow. Okay, tell me, what were those 3 amendments proposed by Qaid-e-Azam in the Nehru report? Nehru report जब आ गई थी तो उसमें 3 amendment proposed की थी Qaid-e-Azam ने कि हम भी इसको मान लेंगे. Do you know about those amendments?
Sir, I have to check it. To be honest, I just arrived in Pakistan 3-4 days ago, and I have to recall my optional in its entirety. But I can check it because I have to check it, sir. My pre-partition and
Okay, you remain in Scandinavia. Let's ask a question regarding that. It is stated that Hitler fought a war of destruction toward Britain and France, but Hitler's war against USSR was war of extermination. What was that war of extermination?
sir, I have to check it. Sorry, sir. I have to go and check it in detail.
Okay, Woodrow Wilson के जो 14 points थे, how it contributed toward the 20th century politics में?
Sir, Woodrow Wilson points primarily to drive the current American even politics. For example, the expansion of American from the American continent toward the global South or the global West. It's also part of the Wilsonian points, and even the contribution of USA in the World War I. I think it led those were the Wilson 14 points that USA couldn't participate in Second World War at time as well. Sir, I have to check it.
Okay, thank you.
sir.
Thank you.
Let's close it. Bilour Khan, the formal interview is over. Then we can make discussion.
Okay, sir.
Now, you have got questions. If you have got questions, you can ask, and we will give you our feedback. What do you think? How you have performed?
So not that well because my optional I have not gone through my all optional and US history. It's such a basic question, like for example Wilson and US participation, especially the Scandinavian War which you are referring. I have gone through it when I was preparing, but sir, I have to go in detail. It's very important for me. And same, sir asked basic question about gender equality, so I have to go through my gender study as well because I've recently arrived from Finland, and I've as I told you, sir, I have to go through it in detail, all my options. I'm working on it, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. The good news is that we find a lot of positivity in your personality. Your optics are very good. You're intelligent and your communication skills are very fine. You're quite confident and your knowledge base is good, but there are certain areas where you need to work very hard. And what I will suggest you to go through the newspaper for the last 3 months.
Okay, sir.
And keep it. When is your interview?
Sir, my interview is being placed on 15th November.
चलो, you have got time luckily.
जी sir.
और दूसरा ये है कि अपनी एक ये something like that, make a notebook.
जी sir.
जिसमें focus करो अपने आप को issues पे. Say if there is a energy crisis, 1, 2, 3 point. Water issues, 1, 2, 3 point. Tourism in KPK, 1, 2, 3, 4 point. ताकि वो बार बार रिपीट होंगे ना.
जी सर.
3 महीने के अखबार को रिव्यू करने के बाद आप फोकस हो जाओगे.
जी सर.
तो when you will communicate, you will immediately respond.
जी सर. I've started making a notebook now, sir.
ठीक है ना. और ये जो है ना, ये जो हमारा जो है तुम्हारा इंट्रोडक्शन वाज फाइन, गुड, ठीक है. लेकिन है कि स्टेट ऑफ प्रिपेयर्डनेस में अभी तुमने आना है.
जी सर.
यू आर बैक फ्रॉम फिनलैंड नाउ
जी सर.
एंड यू आर नॉट इन टच विद द न्यूज़पेपर स्पेशली.
जी सर.
ठीक है ना. वो 3 महीने के सारे न्यूज़पेपर निकाल लो.
जी सर.
ठीक
है ना. उनसे मतलब बलूचिस्तान का क्राइसिस चल रहा है, बड़ा सीरियस क्राइसिस चल रहा है.
जी सर.
फॉलो अप करना है क्योंकि ये चीज़ें होती हैं, करंट इश्यूज होते हैं जो कि वहाँ डिस्कशन में आ सकते हैं.
श्योर सर.
सवात वैली इटसेल्फ,
जी सर.
उसके बहुत इश्यूज रहे इन द पास्ट और वो भी अफगानिस्तान का फॉल आउट हो रहा है.
श्योर सर.
ठीक है ना. तो यूएस और चाइना के इश्यूज हैं, यूएस इंडिया के इश्यूज हैं, लॉट मेनी इश्यूज हैं.
ओके सर, आई विल.
तो बेस्ट ऑफ लक यार. यू हैव टू टेक इट सीरियसली.
जी सर.
इफ यू वांट टू गो टू द सिविल सर्विस, तुमने देखो ना, तुम्हारी बड़ी हिम्मत है, तुमने इसको ऑलरेडी क्वालिफाई कर लिया।
जी सर।
अब तो आखिरी दिस इज अ लॉस्ट लीप।
जी सर।
तो इसको स्टेट ऑफ प्रिपेयर्डनेस और एनर्जी लेवल अपना इंप्रूव करो फॉर प्रिपरेशन।
श्योर सर, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर
बेस्ट ऑफ लक, थैंक यू।
ये टाइप भी फुली इसमें
ठीक है सर।
यानी चढ़ी होनी चाहिए, आपकी गिर रही
ठीक
है,
है।
स्लाइड नहीं करनी चाहिए।
जी सर।
आप यहाँ आने से पहले इसको टाइट करें पूरा।
ठीक है सर।
बाकी मैंने बता दिया आपको। बाकी ये आपका नॉलेज, जनरल नॉलेज बड़ा जो है, देयर इज लॉट ऑफ गैप। यानी एफआईआर की रजिस्ट्रेशन के बारे में जो है ना, यू कुड हैव गिवन मोर सेंसिबल आंसर। वो तो बड़ा प्रोलॉन्ग हो जाएगा कि ये करना तो वो करना है।
श्योर सर।
मार्गरेट ग्रेटर थैनबर्ग का नहीं पता आपको? यू आर फ्रॉम फिनलैंड एंड शी इज़ फ्रॉम स्वीडन। बॉर्डरिंग कंट्री है मेरे ख्याल में फिनलैंड की। ये क्लाइमेट चेंज के ऊपर ये जो है कर रही है, इसके कॉल्स और ये वो।
आई रिकॉल्ड इट सर नाउ। यस।
हाँ, ये है फिर एक्स्ट्राडिशन। ये नहीं पता आपको? ये जो है तो ये
सर आई विल लुक इनटू इट। आई हैव जस्ट अराइव्ड एंड होपफुली आई विल टेक ऑल दिस पॉइंट्स मेमो।
एक्स्ट्राडिशन, डिपोर्टेशन का नहीं पता। ये जनरल नॉलेज आपका वीक है, इसको इम्प्रूव करें।
ओके सर।
वेल बिलोर, आपने गलत आंसर कोई नहीं किया, ठीक है, आपको नहीं आता, लेकिन ऑप्शंस जो है इनको देख
सर आई विल।
यू नीड टू वर्क ऑन इट।
थैंक यू सो मच सर, आई विल।
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
thank you.
Allah Hafiz.